Brexit poll, who is the biggest threat to a Brexit trade deal being agreed and ratified? Brexit negotiations have now reached a critical point with the end of the transition period fast approaching. Do you think the UK and European Union will agree a trade deal? Britain left the European Union on January 31, with Boris Johnson delivering on his Conservative Party manifesto pledge to get Brexit done with an exit deal reflecting that Brexiteers voted for. The two sides have been locked in post-Brexit trade talks since March in the hope of striking an agreement for the end of the transition period on December 31. But heated talks have frequently turned nasty, with repeated deadlines missed as negotiations blame each other for the constant deadlocks and demanding the other relaxes their stance on several red lines. The EU has demanded Mr. Johnson extend the transition period beyond the end of this year for talks to continue, a request Downing Street has flatly rejected. Do you think the transition period should be extended? The key stumbling blocks have continued to be fisheries and the EU's level playing field, and so far, the Prime Minister has refused to bow to EU demands on both. The UK and EU are continuing to stand firm, and increasingly warning that a no-deal outcome is now the most likely scenario. Mr. Johnson has warned the prospect of a trade deal with the EU is looking difficult, with Brussels chief negotiator Michel Barnier warning time is quickly running out in Brexit talks. The Prime Minister repeated the onus is on the EU to see sense and offer a significant compromise, or the UK will leave the bloc at the end of the transition period without a deal. Do you trust Boris Johnson to successfully deliver the Brexit deal voters want? Mr. Johnson has warned the prospect of agreeing a trade deal with the EU is looking difficult, as Brussels chief negotiator Michel Barnier said there are just a few hours left in the Brexit talks. He also reiterated no sensible government could agree to a deal that does not give their country control of its laws and waters, the two major sticking points for Downing Street in negotiations. Speaking during a visit to Greater Manchester, the Prime Minister said, "Our door is open, well keep talking, but I have to say things are looking difficult.